everybody, and welcome to another episode of Attack Wrap, the final regular season edition.
Zach, we're finally back together, though.
We're finally back.
It's
been a few weeks, but we're back.
Episodes, but it's nice to have you back by my wing.
Yes, sir. And there's a lot to go over, but first, it's the last episode this year with two members from the Owen Sound Attack. We have Nick Chenard and Corbin Votary. Guys, thanks for joining us. I know it's a busy week, and we're all excited for playoffs.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you. There's a ton to go over. Adrien, Mouseeau, like I mentioned, the playoffs are here. We have OHL Players of the Week, Goalie of the Week. We have it all tonight. So let's kick it off with the OHL Player of the Week 2023 NHL Draft Prospect Ethan Miedema of the Kingston Frontenacs is the Coachco OHL Player of the Week, recording 6 goals, 2 assists, and 8 points in 3 games, along with a plus-minus rating of +6. Recording 2 4-point nights last week, Miedema got things started with 4 goals on his birthday and a 6-2 win over Oshawa Wednesday. The 4-goal effort was the first by Frontenac since Warren Fogle scored 4 in a game March 26, 2016. Miedema closed out the weekend with a pair of goals and assists to earn first-star honors as the Frontenacs beat Oshawa 10-2 to finish off their regular season Sunday. Colin McKenzie of the Ottawa 67s is the OHL goaltender of the week for the second time this season, going 3-0 with a 1.35 goals against average and a .953 save percentage, stopping a total of 81 shots last week. Now let's turn to the Owen Sound Attack Player of the Week. James Petrovsky is the Player of the Week for the final regular season edition. During the Attack's 3-3 to finish off the regular season, Petrovsky scored the first goal for the Attack in all 3 contests this past weekend against Sarnia, Flint, and Saginaw. The draft-eligible D-man scored 4 goals and added 15 assists in his 49 games played with Owen Sound this year. Now let's turn to the OHL playoff picture, which begins Thursday. Starting with the Western Conference, the Windsor Spitfires finished first in the Western Conference for the second consecutive season. They get the Kitchener Rangers in the first round. That series beginning Thursday at the WFCU Center. The Spitfires swept the season series against the Kitchener Rangers 4-0. The London Knights won the Midwest Division title. They have home ice advantage as they take on the Owen Sound Attack. The two teams split the season series 3 games apiece. The series starts Friday at Budweiser Gardens at 7 p.m. Game 2 Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. I was looking at the tickets earlier on today, and Sunday afternoon still tickets available to support the Attack in London. Game 3 is at the Bayshore Tuesday evening. No episode of Attack Wrap next week. Game 4 Thursday evening in Owen Sound as well. Fans can purchase tickets at the box office or call 519-371-7452. The Sarnia Sting finished as the 3 seed. They're home to the Guelph Storm. An interesting storyline going into the series. Sasha Pasajov was dealt to the Sting around November for Max Nemesikov. Game 1 Friday in Sarnia. The final matchup in the Western Conference, Saginaw Spirit claim home ice advantage in the series, home to the Flint Firebirds. This is Saginaw's first time in the playoffs since the 2018-19 season, where they fell short to the Guelph Storm in the Western Conference Finals, led by Nick Suzuki and Sean Dursey. To the Eastern Conference, the Ottawa 67s set new franchise records on the final weekend of the season, finishing with 51 wins and 107 points atop the OHL standings. The Hamilton Spectator Trophy is their 6th, following past regular season titles in 2020, 2019, 1997, 1982, and 1978. The 67s finished out the season surrendering a league-low 171 goals while boasting the OHL's best home record, going 29-4-0-1 at TD Place. And of course, defending OHL playoff MVP Logan Morrison led the club in scoring, recording 94 points over 56 games. They take on the 8th place Oshawa Generals beginning Thursday. The 67s will play out of Slush Puppy Center in Gatineau as the World Men's Curling Championship is being held at TD Place. The North Bay Battalion have won the Central Division for the second consecutive year. They face the Steelheads Game 1 Friday at North Bay, who finished the regular season on an 11-game winning streak. The Barrie Colts will try to knock off the defending OHL champion Hamilton Bulldogs, who despite trading some key pieces at the deadline will still be a tough opponent. The Bulldogs received clutch scoring from Nick Lardis and Sahil Panwar during the second half of the season. Game 1 Thursday in Barrie. Finally, the 4-5 matchup in the Eastern Conference will be the Peterborough Petes against the Sudbury Wolves. Chase Stillman has an opportunity to knock out his former team in round 1, Game 1 Thursday evening in Peterborough. For the second straight year, a Windsor Spitfire player is taking home the Eddie Powers Trophy, receiving the OHL's top scorer award presented by Kubota Canada. As the OHL top scoring right winger, Matthew Mouseeau also earns the Jim Mahon Memorial Trophy. He paced the OHL with 111 points, including a league-leading 54 goals, along with 57 assists in 66 games. Mouseeau was a plus 41 performer, scoring just 4 of his 54 on the power play to become one of 4 players in the past decade to score at least 45 even-strength goals in a season. Second in league scoring, Ty Voigt finishes with 105 points. He registered point number 100 in Owen Sound last Tuesday. Amadeus Lombardi was the final player to hit 100 points this season. He finished with 102, becoming the single-season point leader in Flint Firebirds history. Sasha Pasajov finished 4th in league scoring with 98 points. Of those 98, 79 of them with the Sarnia Sting in 46 games this year. Overager Evan Vierling of the Barrie Colts and Matthew Poitras of the Guelph Storm tied for 4th with 95 points each on the year. Logan Morrison finished 7th with 94 points, one ahead of Matvey Patrov, who scored 93 on the year. David Goyette finished 9th with 92 points, one ahead of Francesco Arcuri, who scored 48 goals this season, along with 43 assists. Let's take a look now at the Owen Sound Attack's top 10 in scoring throughout the regular season, led by captain Colby Barlow with 79 points. Barlow scored 46 goals on the season, 12 of them game-winning markers. Cedric Guindon set a career high in points with 69 points in 68 games. The High Prospect hasn't missed a single game in his Ontario Hockey League career. Denny Gore finished 3rd in team scoring, 2 points behind Cedric. Gore scored 31 goals this season, which surpasses his previous career high of 24 from last year. Sam Sedley finishes 4th in team scoring with 56 points, one ahead of Servac Petrovsky. 6th in team scoring, Ethan Burrows with 49 points, 2 points shy of matching his total from last season. OA Matthew Pappas finishes 7th with 39 points, 2 ahead of LA Kings prospect Caleb Lawrence. Landon Hookey and Nolan Seed round out the top 10, each scoring 33 points this year. Seed also finishes plus 18, which is a team high. And just quickly looking at other stats, getting you prepared for Friday night, Colby Barlow led the team in power play goals with 13. Sam Sedley led in power play assists with 18, while Cedric Guindon scored 3 shorthanded goals, which was a team high this season.
You all right there, Zach?
We're ready.
You need a breath or what?
You take over.
All right. You don't have something about OHL Cup?
We'll do that in the second half.
Oh, yeah, we'll do the OHL Cup in the second half. But we'll talk about a little bit about Matthew Mouseeau. Nick, you had the pleasure of playing with Matthew growing up. He was one of your best friends. When you see the progression that Matthew's had over his career as a first of all, with the Alliance Player of the Year with the Sun County Panthers, then the first-round pick to the Ottawa 67s. Doesn't go all that well with him. Then he moves on to Windsor, and then just develops, drafted into the New York Islanders, and now he wins the scoring title. Does any of this surprise you from Maj?
Not really, no. I think always growing up, he was always had that talent, like goal-scoring ability that, we're starting to see now with Colby. I think Maj, even growing up, was just so dominant. And I think, after leaving Ottawa and coming to Windsor, I think he finally found his form. And, it just doesn't really surprise me at all.
Now that I got all caught up. So, yeah, the OHL Cup, the play-in tournament is today, and the OHL Cup starts tomorrow and goes all the way through till Monday, April the 3rd. You can watch that game live. It'll be the OHL Cup final. Of course, last year an exciting one with the Mississauga Senators coming out victorious, and Michael Misa of the Saginaw Spirit breaking Connor McDavid's point record at the OHL Cup. Now, Corbin, you played on a team full of stars in Quincy, Owen Beck. Dalen Wakely tore up the OMHA that season. Cooper Matthews of Barrie was on your team, and some guy named Jackson Stewart was on your squad as well. Your season was cut short due to COVID, but how excited was that team to go to the OHL Cup, having gone to OHFs the year prior?
Yeah, we got a lot of skilled guys on our team. I think we were ranked one of the best teams in Ontario. It did suck to get that OHL Cup canceled, but it's really exciting for these young guys coming in and getting that experience.
Now the OHL Cup, like Zach mentioned, started today, Nick, and you and the Sun County Panthers made it to the OHL Cup, and you guys were a little bit of you guys won the wild card game to get into the tournament, and that was pretty exciting for you guys, along a few OHLers, Ryan Gagne on the team, and Matthew Mouseeau yourself. And this year, the Sun County Panthers made it for the first time since your team made it. How cool is that to hear that Sun County, again, you could say a small market AAA center, made it to the OHL Cup again? Yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's definitely a cool experience, being there and playing against obviously the best teams in Ontario, but teams that you don't get to play a lot of, throughout the year. we had played Jean-Luc Foudy in our wild card game when he played for the Toronto Titans. So, winning that game, and we had beat the Cambridge Hawks for the first time all year in that tournament. So there was definitely a lot of positives, and it was definitely a lot of fun.
How many players from your team were drafted to the OHL?
I want to say around 7.
7 guys, yeah. That's pretty cool.
Corbin, speaking of Jackson Stewart, did Dale DeGray come and talk to you about the type of player he was acquiring at the deadline, knowing that the two of you were teammates in minor hockey?
Yeah, he did just before the deadline, just over Christmas break. He wanted to know what type of player he was, and I think he showed that pretty well. Like, he's a big power forward, big guy that's not afraid to throw some hits. So that's exactly what I told him.
Was he that intimidating in minor hockey? Was he throwing that big of hits? I looked at his stats before. 78 PIMs in minor hockey. That's a lot of PIMs too.
Oh yeah, but not only the PIMs, but he did put up some good scoring and scoring as well. So that was big for our team in minor midget.
Guys, now the regular season's done and over with. We'll get into the highlights later on in the show. But looking back from September to now, what a roller coaster ride it would have been for the both of you. Of course, missing so much time with injury for yourself, Nick, and Corbin missing the later part of the season with mono.
Yeah, I think it was definitely crazy. Not going into my OA year, not really knowing what to expect, just because I've only really played one full season in the OHL so far, not including this one obviously, but. Last year, leaving Flint and, having that bitter feeling all through the summer, and then just wanting to come back, and then shortly after that, going out with an injury. It was definitely a little heartbreaking at the time, but I think at the end of the day, as long as, our team, the guys that needed to step forward, and now, we're seeing that going into playoffs, that those guys, and especially Corbin, are, picking up the slack, and I think it's good, because that's what we're going to need going into playoffs.
Yeah, it was definitely tough, just starting to get on a roll there in the season, and just playing better overall and as a team. But getting sick there, I had a lot of help from the coaching staff and Andy Brown, and just my folks from home, just helping my recovery be as quick as possible. And we're back now and just ready for playoffs. Did
you go back home and just to recuperate a little bit, stay away from the team?
Yep, I went home for about a week, just getting my rest, doing as little as possible, just to get back as soon as I can.
Go ahead.
Now, before we get into previewing the series between you guys and the London Knights that's up ahead, I wanted to go into some goalie. Since we have the goalies on the show, talk about your guys' goalie tandems throughout your OHL career. So both of you guys have been mostly together for most of your OHL career, but you guys had Mac Guzda and a little bit of Carter George as well. So we'll get into Mac first. He's currently backing up the Florida Panthers in the NHL just after a season that he was with the Owen Sound Attack and Barrie Colts. How cool is it to see Mac up there with the big club, and have you guys talked to him throughout this little journey? Yeah,
a little bit. Especially being with him my rookie year. He's kind of the one that showed me the ropes when I was just a little 17-year-old rookie. So it's definitely cool to see him up there, and he was definitely knocking at that door for a while. So it's good to see him finally get that chance.
Yeah, it's sick to see him get that call. Just when I came in last year, he was there for a bit of time, and I took everything I can, learned a lot from him. But it's just really good to see him up there.
He has an impressive rookie season in the AHL. For the folks at home that have not been following Mac's career at all, he's playing for the Charlotte Checkers in the AHL and has a 14-8-3 record with an .899 save percentage. Pretty impressive for a rookie, 21-year-old goaltender at that. What do you guys think of those numbers?
Yeah, I think it's crazy. Like a lot of goalies, you'll hear a lot of them go down to the East Coast first, or they'll kind of float around teams in the AHL. But I think he's solidified a pretty good mark with Charlotte, and obviously, getting the chance to back up a couple games in the NHL is a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, unbelievable numbers, but I'm not surprised. It's just the guy he is, and it's just unbelievable. So.
And keep in mind, Mac Guzda was a guy that went undrafted. We had a home game on a Saturday night, and I checked my phone, second intermission. Mac Guzda's getting NHL contract interest, and it just picked up from there. Now, guys, Carter George came to the team after Nick was injured and played his maximum of 10 games, going 7-3. Everybody talks about his confidence, but from a goalie's perspective, what do you guys see in a 16-year-old Carter George?
I think that's it. I think he comes in and he kind of walks that line between, cocky and confident, which is, a little funny to see, but, it's good to see too because, especially when you're a goalie, you can't really get too down on yourself. You kind of just have to have fun with it, which is, I think, what he does. So, on the more mental side of it, that's kind of how he is, but, he's just so good positionally, not being the biggest of guys. So, I think he's going to do some pretty good things in the OHL, and especially for the attack.
Yeah, that's totally right. He's obviously a great goalie. He's great positionally, and I think his calmness is really big. He's just one of those guys that are, he's fun to have in the room, and he's been good for us this year.
Before we break down the series between the Owen Sound Attack and the London Knights, our producer Mark Perry built up a little bit of a hype video to get you guys excited for this round 1 series. Let's take a look at some highlights between the Owen Sound Attack and the London Knights this year.
Sedley, wrist shot, score! By the attack, back to Nolan Seed. Seed waiting, shoots it. Nobody able to get a stick on it. Barlow does, and he scores! Sent around the boards, cut off by Pappas. Pappas holds to the line. Petrosky throws it to the net. Rebound there. Hookie the shot. He scores! Landon Hookie, and the Bears strike first. Terracini was trying to get around Bonk. Good stick lift here by Petrosky. Petrosky with the shot save made. Rebound. He scores! Here's Hookie coming across. 5-hole. He scores! 2 in the period for Landon Hookie, and it's 3-0 attack. Feeds it up to Colby Barlow. Barlow coming in, drags and fires, he scores! What a shot by Colby Barlow. Came down low, scores! Up the middle, skipping puck, 2-on-1. Burrows has it to the net, Pappas. Pappas in front, he scores! Racing after to Servac Petrosky. Bowen's got a play, he turns it over, Petrosky scores! Point, back to Servac Petrosky, finds Barlow. Barlow the shot, he scores! 2 for the captain. A power play goal by the attack makes it 6-4. Face off here. 2.5 to go. Knights win the face off. Dickinson couldn't find it. Hookie does. On the backhand, he sends it towards the empty net. Landon Hookie's got the hat trick. The Owen Sound Attack.
Big thank you to Mark Perry and Adrien. Being an Owen Sound Attack fan for so long, the calls from Mark McKelvey throughout the years just give you a little bit of chills. So I thought it was a great idea to put it together.
Yeah, what a great idea. This is a surprise to me. I got a big smile on my face revisiting those memories. And guys, one play that stuck out to me for all the wrong reasons was a goal by Servac Petrosky. I'm sure you guys have been put in that same situation that Zach Bowen was put in. When that happens, what's your reaction? I know you guys kind of like cringed at it, but what's your mindset after a goal like that? That's a tough one to let in.
I don't know. I think it's just more so like one of those uh-oh moments. Like you're just like, yeah, like it's a little like almost surreal, but you just gotta kind of shake it off and move on to the next one.
Yeah, that's I try and just forget about it, but those are the ones you just can't let it slide. I don't know. It's just it's tough, but I think a lot of goalies have been in that situation.
Okay, in serious though, you guys watched it for the first time, just like I did. Does that get you excited for playoff hockey?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a pretty good series, and Andy Brown was telling us earlier that he's been in a playoff round with London a couple times here in his career, and it never gets old. So especially knowing the rivalry that we have with London, the rivalry that our fans and their fans have with almost each other, I think is going to bring a pretty good atmosphere here, to the next who knows how many games.
Yeah, no, I think our team's pretty pumped for playoffs, and the season series didn't disappoint whatsoever.
You worded that very well, Nick. We have a trivia question coming up towards the end of the break, so I'm glad you worded that well without giving away the answer. But let's start it off. So the London Knights will be your opponent in the opening round of the playoffs. 6th meeting between you guys and the two teams. When you break down the video, what are some key areas the team will have to focus on if you guys are going to pull off the upset as a 7th seed to defeat the London Knights?
I think a lot of it is going to have to come down to execution, and all playing as one unit on the ice and not really, trying to play as individuals. And I think that's the biggest thing, especially playing against a team like the London Knights that, kind of take advantage of your mistakes. So I think that's just the biggest thing is going to be execution and, getting everyone on the same page come Friday.
So the past 2 seasons, you guys started the OHL season in the bud, and it was a big surprise to everybody, to all the newcomers to the OHL. And they were like, whoa, this is a big barn.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be amplified by 10 in the playoff game at the bud. When you guys last year started the playoffs, you guys were the 6th seed going against the number 3 Flint as underdogs. You're going in as underdogs once again. You guys are clearly embracing the underdog role. But again, you're going into a different barn. It's the Budweiser Gardens, the biggest arena in the OHL. How are you guys going to prepare for that, Corbin?
For me, I just, it makes me more excited. Just, a lot of more fans there. It just gets me so excited. I think our young guys and everyone on our team is going to handle it very well.
I think for us, we have a pretty big group that played there, 5 times last year and a couple times this year. So, we've played in rinks like the Odd and Kitchener, and even Erie sometimes is a little hard to go into when it's a school game and there's little kids screaming everywhere. So, I think it's games like that kind of prepare you for this, and I think that's it's definitely a good experience that we have. Playing all 7 games against Flint last year, and just giving us that much more experience to go into the bud this year and win some games.
Now, as a minor hockey goalie, yourself, Nick, we talked about minor hockey a little bit earlier. You were goalie partners with London Knights starters Brett Brochu. So now you guys are going to go up. Whoever gets starting game 1 or game 2, how are you guys going to beat Brett Brochu one-on-one? You've seen him night in, night out in practice for about 4 or 5 years. What's the secret to beating Brett?
I don't know. I haven't played with him for a couple of years, but when we were younger, it was just I don't even know. Like it was such a long time ago that I don't even know if I have an answer. But no, he's obviously a really good goalie, and I've grown up alongside him, and me and him kind of learning together. So it's definitely going to be a cool experience going in and playing him for the first round and the last time we'll kind of ever face each other in our careers.
Yeah, he leads all O2 goalies in wins and save percentage and goals against average. Is that a battle that you guys enjoy having, Corbin, going against one of the best for his age group in the OHL?
Yeah, for sure. He's obviously one of the best goalies in the league. But it doesn't shy away from our team. I think we can put the puck by him just fine, and I think we just gotta get to the blue paint there and just bury some dirty goals on him. And
I would agree with that. You guys split the series 3-3 this year. You guys last year you pulled Brett Brochu from the net a couple of times, so it's possible. It's like playing the underdog role is a fun one to play as well.
I like the stat that you broke out. He might be the OHL reigning goalie of the year. Brett Brochu's never won a playoff series in his Ontario Hockey League career.
No.
But Corbin, it's nice to see you healthy again and back in the crease, missing 15 games due to mono. You touched on it a little bit earlier on in the show. What was that process like for yourself, just getting back into game form?
Yeah, I was out for about 3-4 weeks, just not really being able to do much. I think just taking it easy and just trying to get my energy back as quick as possible, and then I reached a time where I can start doing some light activity and like working out and doing cardio and stuff. And eventually shots came, and I got a lot of help along the way, like I said earlier, with Andy Brown and the people back home. So I'm really fortunate for that, and just glad I'm back.
Looking back on the regular season, 12-9-4 record, a 3.72 goals against, and a 883 save percentage. What are some of the takeaways from your season personally?
Yeah, I think I had a lot of fun this regular season. I think coming into the second year, it was I think it was good numbers to have. But I think I really want to improve on those for sure. But yeah.
Nick, your final season in the Ontario Hockey League, 14-16, 2-1. With those 14 wins, you sit 8th all time in franchise wins with 44. What does that milestone mean to you?
Yeah, I think it's huge. Obviously, not a Cinderella year for myself, but sitting 8th overall in attack history is a pretty big accomplishment. And I kind of would have liked playing that COVID season to see where I could have actually ended up. But no, I think it's pretty big, being with a couple big names up there. So.
It's really interesting that you mentioned that COVID season. Like, for a lot of guys on the team, Denny, Ethan, even Mac, Nolan Seed, where would they be in the history books without that season? It would be really interesting to see what would have been, but we can't go back in time, Zach.
Unfortunately, we can't. Just a final few questions before we go into the commercial break. And the question for the both of you, as we enter the playoffs now, what is goalie coach Greg Redquest working on with both of you getting ready for playoffs?
Yeah, he's a legend. He's, a goalie coach, a friend, a gender coach. He's just, all throughout my 4 years here in Owen Sound, he's, been a huge help, as a mentor, as a goalie coach. He's kind of a lot of things wrapped into one. So, I think the biggest things have, just always battle for pucks and, just have fun with it, because at the end of the day, it is still, the same sport you grew up playing when you were playing house league. So, that hasn't changed. It's just kind of the atmosphere that you're around and, a little bit of the business side of it. So,
yeah, I have to agree with Nick there. Like, Red Dog's such a great guy. He really gives you a lot of confidence there. And, we've always been just keeping it simple in the crease and just not overplaying and just the little details like that.
Professional experience as well. I was looking it up yesterday, and first goalie drafted in his NHL draft year to the Pittsburgh Penguins is a pretty cool accomplishment. So you guys have a goalie coach that's got a lot of pro experience as well, and I'm sure for the both of you it's helped you out a ton throughout your career here.
Yeah,
so.
No, it definitely has.
Adrien, Mouseeau, we have to go to break in just a minute, but you do the honors this evening of throwing out our trivia question. It has to do with the playoff series against the London Knights. And if you have the correct answer, you can win a pair of tickets to Game 3 Tuesday evening against the London Knights.
Question of the day is, when did the Owen Sound Attack last meet the London Knights in the playoffs? Tickets for Game 3 Tuesday, April 4th are on the line. So when did the Owen Sound Attack last meet the London Knights in the playoffs?
I'll give you a hint. It was an exciting, very exciting playoff series to watch. I was attending Fanshawe College, so I got to take in 2 games at Budweiser Gardens and game 1 here at the Bayshore as well. We have to take a quick break though. On the other side of the break, still plenty more to break down. The Attack finished off the regular season with a 3-3. We'll have highlights for all 3 of those games. Nick Chenard and Corbin Votary are going to go through a quiz with Adrien Mouseeau as well. You're tuning into Attack Wrap here on Rogers TV.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Calling all journalism students, Omni Television is once again awarding scholarships to qualified students pursuing a career in third language journalism.
The Omni Scholarship has been really conducive to my development as a journalist, and it's shown me that, having this financial support really opens up more avenues.
Omni is home to a variety of locally produced current affairs programs and daily national newscasts, broadcast in 6 languages. To learn more about Omni Scholarships, visit omnitv.ca/scholarships.
You're so right. Zach has terrible takes.
I know, right? Like, legit. Everyone makes fun of my take just because I wanted to be bold and just throw myself out there.
But also, I got to apologize quickly. I can't come back next season. Live Golf has paid me $50 million to do their sports wrap show.
The Jays do not make the playoffs.
That's it. I'm leaving.
That's when Odell Beckham Jr. will be donning the green and yellow.
final episode of Attack Wrap before the playoffs. Nick Chenard and Corbin Votary alongside myself.
I thought you were cutting us off the air
We're
just
not.
like
No,
that.
we still got.
We got a few more episodes.
We have a few more to go. But it is the end of the regular season. The performers of the month for March were announced. Let's take a look at it now. LA Kings prospect Brant Clark of the Barrie Colts is both the OHL player and defenseman of the month, recording 11 goals, 11 assists for 22 points in 9 games, along with a plus-minus rating of plus 16. Clark helped the Colts play to a March record of 8-2-0-1, recording points in all 9 of his contests, including 7 multi-point showings and his first career hat-trick versus the Hamilton Bulldogs. Clark earned Defenseman of the Month in January, February, and now March to finish off his regular season since returning from the NHL. Winnipeg Jets prospect Dom DiVincentis of the North Bay Battalion is the OHL goaltender of the month for the second time this season, playing to a 6-0-0-0 record with a 1 goals against average, a .968 save percentage, and 3 shutouts. The Jets prospect made 181 saves last month, winning all 6 of his outings for the back-to-back Central Division champions. And draft-eligible North Bay Battalion netminder Charlie Robertson is the OHL Rookie of the Month for March, playing to a 5-0-0-0 record with a 1.79 goals against average and a .942 save percentage with 2 shutouts. Robertson made 145 saves in March, winning all 5 of his games. Robertson's the first North Bay OHL Rookie of the Month recipient since Cam Dineen, who last claimed the honor in January of 2016. And now finally, let's take a look at some award winners around the Ontario Hockey League for the regular season. We mentioned the Ottawa 67s. Their league low 171 goals over their 68-game schedule during the season that resulted in a franchise record 51 wins and 107 points. They were backstopped by the goaltending duo of Max Donoso and Colin McKenzie, who earned the Dave Pinckey Trophy in 2022-23. Donoso and McKenzie helped the 67s earn their 6th Hamilton Spectator Trophy in franchise history, as the club allowed just over 2.5 goals per game. Zach Bowen of the London Knights is a recipient of the F.W. Dinty Moore Trophy, leading all qualified rookie netminders with a 3.10 goals against average. An 18-year-old from Canada, Ontario, Bowen played to a mark of 17-4-0-0 with an .899 save percentage and 1 shutout over 26 contests.
Guys, we're going to start off with the quiz. Okay? Class is in session. You guys are going to have to pick up the pens and papers behind you, markers and whiteboards. And we'll get into it, okay? First question of the quiz. It's going to be a very simple one. If you've been paying attention today, you're going to have the answer.
Yeah.
Which minor hockey team did the other play for?
Oh, mine's so small. I don't even know if you'll pick it up.
Correct, both of you.
Nice.
Well done. We'll stay in the minor hockey loop. Who had the lower goals against average in their last year of minor hockey?
Like major midget included?
In your last year of minor hockey.
Yeah.
It is so tight though. 128 for you, and Nick, you had a 196.
Yeah,
major
geez.
midget. Those are impressive.
I played on a good team though, so not all the credits for me.
Okay.
Trust me.
Hey, you got to stop the pucks that come at you.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're going into OHL. How many wins does the other person have in his OHL career?
How many you got this year? We're just trying to math it together. Right now,
No.
I'm gonna go off the book here. I think.
I don't think so.
Nick has 44,
Oh.
and Corbin has 17.
Oh,
It's close though.
it was close. It was close.
Save percentage. Save percentage.
This
Current?
season?
No. OHL save percentage.
Oh, geez.
All the years.
Yeah. It makes it tougher.
His?
Yeah, his,
Oh,
and then yours. Well, Corbin needs yours. Starting with a point, Corbin. That's a good start.
Oh, like this is for him.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? You guys are just hyping each other up. I enjoy that.
No, 8-9.
875 for Corbin in his career and 892 for you.
Oh.
That's all right, though. Hey.
You're close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. Thanks, buddy.
No worries. I just.
All right. Next question. How many? I love this question. It's the Greg Walters question of the day. How many penalty minutes did Greg Walters have in his highest career, like highest season of PIMS?
In the O?
Yeah, single season PIMS. No, just in his hockey career.
In his entire hockey career, how many PIMS did he have?
Like,
no.
Single
One
season.
single season high.
How many I'm taking a test.
Oh, I know you taking tests.
I don't even know if this is a high shot, but.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that
add them together.
Is that low? Oh, yeah.
254, guys.
Nice.
That was his year with the Chicago Wolves of the IHL.
Wow.
Guess how many games? 50.
Nice.
That's unbelievable.
That's a power forward.
That's a power forward right now.
Yeah.
Okay. According to Elite Prospects, we're staying on Coach Walters' Elite Prospects page. What's his single season high in points?
Oh, I know this one. You do too.
Says it all the time.
I know this one. This one's easy. Oh.
104.
Oh, all right.
But in the O, he had 90.
Yeah.
In the O, he had 90 with the 67s. 36 goals, 54 assists. That is some impressive numbers. Now we're going to include Jordan Hill on this one. His career high in points in a single season.
Okay.
I feel like the guys joke around about skills being a shutdown D. Third.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I think maybe.
So you're correct about him being a shutdown defenseman. Yeah, didn't get very many points. 22 points is the most he ever got. 26. My bad.
You can tell Skillsy that you were hyping him up.
Yeah,
he's the
I was
captain
just
of the
way
Norfolk Admirals, however.
Yeah.
So, guys, I love the participation. Nick, just like in school, you participated a lot. Maybe the grades didn't come, but I'm just kidding. Nick was actually a great student for everybody watching at home. He did ask a lot of questions, however. That does it for another episode of the quiz. You guys got a C-, but
the harsh teacher.
Harsh teacher today.
Yeah, hey, thanks.
Everybody else in the league on the team got A pluses, but it's all right.
Like I mentioned, the Owen Sun Attack had a busy weekend to finish off the regular season. Let's take a look at highlights from last Friday against the Sarnia Sting.
To someone else, I don't know, but that happens. Voigt spins away from the check of Seed. Voigt trying to use the traffic out in front of the net, scores! Attack, bring it back the other way, Petrovsky. Gaindon's chance blocked away by Gaudreau. The line. Scores! James Petrovsky took the shot through traffic. Figuratively, people were hanging from the rafters. Here's a chance out in front. Denied there, rebound, scores! Easton Wainwright on the doorstep, scores on the rebound, and the Sting open up a 2-1 lead. Belak now right out in front. Hookie with a chance to the backhand. Gaudreau denies him in tight. Landon. Cooper Way. His chance. Votary another stop. Have the next best chance. Then the Sioux. Then whoever doesn't make it between Kingston and Oshawa. Svelmanis trying to center. They score. Marcus Limpar-Lance. Belak now right out in front. Hookie with a chance to the backhand. Gaudreau denies him in tight. Landon. Cooper Way. His chance. Votary another stop. Have the next best chance. Then the Sioux. Then whoever doesn't make it between Kingston and Oshawa. Svelmanis trying to center. They score. Marcus Limpar-Lance able to find the rebound out in front of the net. The Sarnia Sting increase their lead.
Limpar-Lance with number 16 on the season here at 8:32 as he and Santa's Vilmanis out there together. There's Vilmanis trying to get the puck toward the net, gets it toward Limpar Lance, and he's able to squeeze it through.
Sikic, down low, chance there, and Surek Petrovsky gained on with a chance, and now passage off. Gets to center ice, gives it to Del Balbaluz, who puts it on goal, and he scores. The fourth time in franchise history, have their 40th win of the season as they sweep the home and home against the
Owen Sound attack in the last weekend, falling short against the Sarnia Sting 4-1. It wasn't included in the highlight pack, but everyone here at Rogers TV will want to express our best wishes to Tomislav Brennan. A huge hit on the attack rookie forward this past Friday, so we hope he's doing well. Glad to see that he's out of the hospital as well. Corbin, you made some big saves to keep your team in this game. How did you guys feel you played against one of the best teams in the Ontario Hockey League?
Yeah, I think they're definitely one of the best teams in Canada right now. I think they're peaking at the right time, and I think we played pretty well overall, considering we're short on bodies too. I think it was a pretty close game for the most part, and just some bounces we didn't get, which could change things.
I think everybody on the team, and that was at the rink on Tuesday night, would agree that wasn't your best showing at the Bayshore this year, coming off a tough loss and not the best performance.
Yeah.
How do you guys think you guys fared on Friday night going into their barn?
Yeah, I think just forget about that game, obviously, for me and just for the team, and just shake it off. And I think we played well Friday night. Heading into Sarnia in their barn, and I just didn't think too much about the previous game.
Guys, now the final road trip out of the way for you guys in the regular season. What are some favorite memories for you guys on or off the ice from this year?
I think for me, being an older guy now, I think a lot of it was, time, off the ice. You kind of cherish those little moments. Whether it's, me and Sam Selly playing, mini sticks in the basement, or, all the random sing-offs on the bus and stuff like that. But I think, winning, big games, and I think, just being able to celebrate with the team after, big wins like that. So I think those are, the ones that I'll remember, leaving this year, and the ones that, I've remembered in years past.
Yeah, I love all the laughs in the room and stuff. Just the guys are jokes, and one memory for me this year was a hockey day in Canada when we had those two big wins back to back, and that was huge for us, and just a lot of great memories this year.
And it was a busy weekend for the Owen Sound attack. They had a 3-3. We're gonna go to Saturday night's highlights and from Flint.
Pappas was the one in pursuit. Thomas Chafe with an down low it goes. Back in the slot. Just roll under the stick of Landon Hookey. At the point now, James Petrovsky takes a shot and he scores! James Petrovsky opens the scoring against his former team. Blake Smith now. Colson Petrie. Smith at the point once more. Looking for Lane. Has us. Lane takes a shot. Save. Put Petrie in front of the net. Scores! We talked pregame. Petrie goalless. His last 6 goalless no more. It's a 1-1 game here in Flint. 5:55 to go.
So we knew that, and we just knew we had to get back to business, and that's what we did.
Petrie brothers up 2-on-2. Petrie
Scores.
swings it. Katie Petrie scores! The brothers connect! It's 2-1 Firebirds here in the first.
There's something special about this team. We're heating up at just the right moments. We're playing with love, and when you play with that kind of effort, only good things happen.
And Thomas Chafe answers 2-2. By Dork Financial Credit Union, visit dortonline.org for more information. Good steal by Hookey in the offensive end for the attack. Around the wall, Denny Gore there. Behind the net, in front, Hookey, they score! What a passing play that was! And Owen Sound takes a 3-2 lead here late in the first. Servac Petrovsky now surveying. Owen Sound looking to go up 4-2. Near side, Sedlin. Over Petrovsky, one-timer, he scores! I think that might have deflected off of Slavacek and into the net, power play goal. And almost took on all 5 white jerseys to make that play happen. Back up top it goes, Jenkin loads, fires one block down, where is it? Up in the air, and they score! It's Matthew Jenkins' first career OHL goal! Around the wall, stretch pass now looking for Denny Gore on a good clearing attempt. Linesman, oh, they score! Denny Gore powers it home, a shorthanded goal. Owen Sims running out here for the Firebirds. They made it a 1-goal game on Matthew Jenkins' first career OHL goal, then Denny Gore shorthanded unassisted, 31st of the year. Aspinall skating in, shoots one, cross ice, Barrios scores! Oh, what a beautiful feed! Ethan Hay comes away with it, 20 remaining. Hay, cross ice, fan on it, Jordan looking to clear it, it's off the glove of Kane Petrie to center. Good hustle play, and Cedric Dainda's gonna ice it.
The Owen Sound Attack coming up with a big victory Saturday night against the Flint Firebirds. Guys, how important is it for this club getting that secondary scoring at this time of the year? You saw James Petrowski open the scoring, Thomas Schaaf contributing as well, and then getting contributions from the top guys.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing heading into playoffs. I think having guys like that have played third or fourth line minutes throughout the year, and then now they're playing on a first and second with some of our guys out, and just actually just making a huge impact right meow in our game. And I think the biggest thing for us is having that all four lines going all at the same time. And I think it was a good weekend for all of our lines going. So
it's great to see those guys step up. It just shows our depth in our team. And once we get all of our guys back, we're going to have a lot of consistency within our game.
Well, guys, it's time for everybody in Grey County's favorite game show on a Tuesday night. Voted actually this time by the Owen Sound Attack players, believe it or not. They voted this was their favorite game show on a Tuesday night. It's time for What's in the Helmet. Guys, you guys know how this goes. Yep. Corbin, you're first. Nick, you get a little time. It's your last ever What's in the Helmet. So cherish every moment, okay?
Yeah.
Cherish every moment. I think this is perfect. Oh, it's actually worded a little differently. But favorite rivalry in professional sports? Since you guys are going to play your favorite rivalry right now in the playoffs, favorite rivalry in professional sports?
I like Leafs Boston.
It's not even a rivalry.
I think it is. They just play. It's definitely one of the biggest ones in the NHL. I always look forward to seeing that. Even though they're not my favorite team, it's just always a fun game to watch.
Who's your favorite team?
I like the Rangers.
Oh.
I think they're going to make a run this year too.
Lundqvist?
I liked him. Yeah, he was my favorite goalie growing up.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think I'd say the same. Obviously those two, and I think me being a little bit of a basketball guy, I definitely liked, I didn't really get the chance to watch because I wasn't born yet, but I think hearing about, the rivalry between Jordan and the Celtics. So that for me is, obviously a pretty huge rivalry.
Nobody said Montreal-Toronto. Like, come on, biggest rivalry in all sports. Unbelievable. Zach, what's your favorite professional rivalry?
Mine would have to be
Drake versus somebody?
No, as a big football fan, I would say Manchester United.
Oh, actual football. Okay.
Yes.
Football.
That's
Are they playing right meow?
Nick Chenard, the biggest prankster on the team.
Okay, talking about Drake and Drizzy, who's got the best taste of music on the team?
I think Sam Sedley has the best music. I think he always has tunes on the bus ride home after a big win and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I'm either going to have to say Seds or Cedar. Both of them, pretty good on aux when we're in the room or on the bus. So I'm going to go with those two.
Leave it to the vets.
That's right.
Which member of the team takes the longest to respond to their phone?
I got to say, Bars or someone like that. I mean, he's a pretty busy guy. I can't get on for that, but I have to say him.
I don't think I answered text too quick, and I've had that complaint a couple times. I like turning my phone on sleep mode, kind of focus mode, pretty early on in the night, so I don't get notifications all that often. So but I don't know. I think Colby just with how many texts he probably gets is probably a little crazy, but I think I'd have to go with myself, honestly.
You want to know the most common one that we get?
Probably me, yeah.
Schaefer.
Really?
Thomas Schaefer.
Oh, yeah.
And then Nick Chenard's number 2, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Best prankster on the team?
Seds
for sure.
He does some pretty creative stuff, so I'll have to give it to him.
Must have been tough living with him for 3 years.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of ups and downs with Seds, but no, I think he's like a brother to me at this point. So I think me and him will keep in contact after our days in Owen Sound.
This one, when I first read it, there's a few names that popped through my head. but the teammate who cares most about their hair. It's Corbin that answers first, Nick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say Tony. I feel like that guy just hates being touched. I don't know. Not that I've touched him all the time, but just he always taking care of his hair. So.
Yeah, I'd probably go Tony as well. I don't know, like Stu's probably got the best hair.
Oh yeah,
he's got an unbelievable flow, but you know, I don't know. I think it's I think you know either Tony or Pappas.
Nice.
I think we have. I think Colby said Pappas 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think that'd be my answer.
All right, 2 last questions from Nick. Your last ever episode of the quiz. Favorite food?
Can't go wrong with a nice steak. I like that.
Yeah, I think steak and mashed potatoes is mine too.
All right. Well, we already asked that. You said Lundqvist. What's yours? Price? Favorite goalie growing up? Okay, favorite social media platform?
I like TikTok. That's always pretty funny.
What a loophole that gets you in, eh?
I guess.
I'd probably say either Snapchat or Instagram. I think those are probably my 2 most used, social media apps. So, yeah.
Well, that does it for another episode of the quiz. Nick Chenard's final episode of the not the quiz.
What's in the helmet?
What's in the helmet? I don't even know. I'm so sad. Like I'm getting teary-eyed over here. It's been.
Final
to put it away again.
Final few questions for you guys, though. Nick, just flashing back, your 6th-round pick in the Ontario Hockey League, and you mentioned you played 3 seasons here in Owen Sound. What were some of your biggest takeaways from your time in the scenic city?
I think there's been a lot of things that I'll remember, even going back to Windsor or wherever I end up next year. But a lot of it was the guys that I've made connections with, teammates, staff, whoever it was, fans. So, for me to leave here with, obviously some pretty great and positive memories, definitely makes leaving home at 17 or 16 worthwhile. I think obviously coming here and, you're playing in front of, a couple thousand fans every night. It's definitely an eye-opener going from, just your mom and your dad and grandparents in minor hockey. So I think for me that was, one of the biggest things. And obviously playing against guys that aren't your age anymore was a pretty big step up. Guys are faster, stronger. If they really wanted to run you, I'm sure they could a little bit easier than they could in minor hockey. So, I think it's those things that I'll always remember. And, the bus rides and, movie nights or team meals that, we shared, I think I'll always remember.
You just mentioned some of your favorite memories right there. And they say your time in the OHL really flies by. To the 16-year-olds that are on your team right now and to the 15-year-olds that are going to get drafted to the OHL in about a month's time, what would your message be to them coming into the OHL?
I think, me and Alan Letang were actually talking about this after a game against Sarnia in Sarnia, because obviously he was my coach my rookie year. And, he always told us how fast it goes, and, you don't really believe him in the moment. But looking back on it now, it literally feels like I was drafted yesterday, that I had my first rookie camp yesterday. Like everything feels still so fresh in my mind. And, I think it's really just, embracing it all and, not just kind of floating through every day. And it's, just really, putting in the work day in and day out. And I know in the moment it probably seems like a grind, but you get to the end of the season and the end of your career and go, oh, well, I kind of miss those guys right now. So I think that's the biggest thing is just kind of, cherish all the seconds and, all the minutes that you're with those guys.
Corbin, you said a few guys on the Quinte Red Devils entering the draft this year. You're about to complete your 2nd year, going into your 3rd next season. Same question for you. What would your message be to anyone entering the league?
Yeah, I think you just got to enjoy it. I still got a couple of years left in the league, but the years fly by. It's the same thing for Nick. I haven't played as long as he has, but just I wish I could go back and just play the season. So
So Nick, we've known each other for quite some time now. It's going back to when you were in grade 8, and then I saw you get drafted to the OHL, and how happy you were then. And I followed. You could say I followed you to Owen Sound in a way when I got my job up here the same year that you burst on the seams here in the Owen Sound Attack uniform, and it's been a true pleasure to see you grow as a person and as a player. And I followed you your entire way. So my question to you is, what's next for Nick Chenard? What should I expect from you? And you don't have to talk about professional or collegiate, whatever you do. What do you aspire to be come 10, 20 years?
Yeah, I think for me, I don't really know what my next chapter is. And I think that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, is that I haven't really made a decision on what I'm going to do come September. And I think for me, that's just kind of the fun in it, is I can kind of I don't have to be in one place at one time. I can kind of do whatever I want. But I think that's kind of the pleasures of being young. But I think definitely law school is something that I want to pursue in a couple of years, and that's always been a pretty big dream of mine. And so getting the chance to do something like that, whether it's abroad or here in Ontario or in the States or wherever it is, I think is something that I really love to do.
Final few.
Well, I was just going to say one thing, just to conclude on that, Nick. That you're going to have the full support of a lot of people back in Tecumseh, Ontario, and a lot of fans that you acquired along the way here in Owen Sound. So everybody at home is rooting for you. Now the chapter's not done yet here in Owen Sound. Now go win us an OHL title.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's what we're all looking forward to. Being the underdog, doesn't always mean you're not as good as the other team. And I think that's kind of our mindset going into playoffs is, we're just as good as those guys. Whether our ranking shows it or not. Like, I think at the end of the day, if we're firing on all cylinders and everyone, our best guys are our best guys, I think a chance at beating, whether it's Windsor, London, Kitchener, teams in the other side, like we've beaten Ottawa this year. So I think games like that and teams like that, I think us here in Owen Sound just always find that spark like we did last year against Flint.
First off, Nick, final minute of the show. I want to wish you a happy birthday. Your birthday's tomorrow, and I want your birthday week to get started off right. You're an overager. It's your final episode of Tack Rap. We have about 30 seconds. The floor is yours for a thank you to anybody.
Yeah, I want to say a big thank you to all those that have supported me over the last couple of years, and it's truly been a pleasure getting to play in front of the thousands of fans that come and support us every night. Obviously to my teammates and teachers and all the people back home that have followed me along this journey. Obviously to my mom, who is one of my biggest supporters, and my family just in general. But I think also the people I've met up here, the Reeds, and having Moose up here and just stuff like that. I think obviously my billet family have been huge. So I just want to say thank you to those.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
It's about sharing and caring. It's about doing and belonging. It's about living life to its fullest. And it's about laughing out loud. We are L'Arche Canada, and we're about witnessing and sharing the gifts of all people. Learn more about us today.
Calling all journalism students, Omni Television is once again awarding scholarships to qualified students pursuing a career in third language journalism.
When I found out that I wanted